Hello guys, it is that Panda Guy and I'm here again with another video, and today we are looking at a lot of base swarms, base rallies and swarms, and maybe even just some rallies. I thought that it would be an interesting video, and think of it as an appetizer to the next video that is going to be just a ton of tower fights, And I thought that a video committed solely to base attacks would be pretty nice. And these reports are going to be absolutely insane. And a lot of them I do cut out AoE, but when you really do factor in the amount of people just waddling by a base with Lewis or something, it is insane how much AoE damage they take. I feel like each of these base swarms would take at least 100k troops of like just killing on AoE, right? And it was absolutely insane. Like, people would not care, or they didn't learn, and they would just waddle through the AoE. You also see a lot of people who are not whales jump in on swarms, and you'll see that here in a minute, where the reports are absolutely mad. And I think you'll see it in other reports as well, where just the trades are disgusting. I don't know why some people were actually trying to hop in on these swarms, but yeah, it was absolutely just nuts. I also want to mention that I noticed on a lot of towers, as well as even base defenses, people were using Lewis as a leader, and I tried it out, and I don't fully know if this is true, but just from my understanding, for example, a range hero, they are going to melt a target faster. They obviously have higher damage, just range in general, so you can assume, the same would be applied for the hero. But just in general, right, the damage is higher, but the HP is way lower, so obviously you're melting faster at a trade-off of more damage. And that's what I wanted to start trying, and I actually get sworn personally at the end of this video, but I was using Lewis, and I think that it works pretty well depending on the situation. Like, for example, we were defending towers a lot with Lewis leading Peterson instead of Peterson leading Lewis, and I think that it actually performed better because we were able to melt the rally faster. And since we were able to keep the tower full, it worked out. But then it also just melted the tower, it melted the rally faster. And since we were cutting off a lot of the reinforcements trying to come in, it made the trades way worse for the rally. And I think that it honestly works really well, especially if your base has a lot of troops in it. I think that, tanking a swarm down is absolutely nuts, and it works really well. But I think that, it really depends on you having a abundant amount of troops, really, right? I just think you need a lot of troops for that. Also, I don't know if you guys saw that report earlier on Tree, but the trades were crazy. Like, you had some people who would just throw their troops in there. They would trade like 1 to 12 or 1 to 10, and it's like, why are you hopping in on this swarm? It's lunacy. Like, I don't know, man. It's sometimes crazy to me. But you also see Red Bull getting swarmed here. I feel like this alliance just bait swarms nonstop. Just so many people just get swarmed or rallied. And I mean, obviously, these guys aren't really eating a healing bill, but they are eating a lot of deads, and it feels worth it, especially at the moment when you're like thinking, even if you're trading on the field, you're not trading this positive, so it feels worth it. And I'm sure these guys actually don't care. They just want to throw their troops at something, just want to die against somebody's wall. But it's actually insane how many troops these guys are willing to just throw at somebody and just die. Just don't care. They Even if they knew someone was on, they probably would just swarm because they can. They just don't care. But I mean, these trades make me feel like a winner just watching as a spectator. But we do take quite a few swarms, though. I think Red Bull takes two. I think Nam takes two. He gets rallied here in a second. And honestly, like, you see Lewis here, I think the only bad thing would be, like I said, it melts way faster, right? And since Lewis is so low here, the wall is so low, this means even if somebody initiates a swarm now, if he had, let's say, started out with 4 million troops, at this point in time, he's probably around maybe 1.7 million troops. So the trades that he's taking are obviously going to be way worse. And if you guys don't know, I'll show you guys, hopefully in the reports later, but when you're hopping into a swarm, it actually shows how many troops that you jump in at. So if like a person starts at right here, you'll see it right here, but 4.2 million on Nom's side, and then you jump in the swarm later in, you'll actually see how this works if I go down enough. But it'll basically be like, let's say it drops to, your wall drops down to 3 million, or you have quote unquote 3 million in your base at that point in time. it'll show as like 3 million on your wall when somebody initiates combat. Because you see right there squad info, and you see that Nom's troops are progressively like smaller and smaller. And this is because the people attacking him attack when he has that many troops, like you see there, right? So basically, when someone's like swarming near the end of the swarm, he's going to be taking generally worse trades, if not trading negative, just because of that. And you actually, I think, see that in some instances where I think it was Red Bull, where they got swarmed near the end of one of their walls, and they only had like 1.5 million troops, I think, in their base, and they started trading negative on the swarms because people jumped in so late, after the rally had already knocked them down far enough. Of course, it's still injuries versus like deaths, so the trades are still worth it. But I thought that was just something to point out because some people might not know that, and why wouldn't I talk about it with such a freaking long video like this? Also, if you're wondering why these guys aren't swarming Samuel, it's because Samuel is a freaking beast, and they saw him swap his captain. There's no shot they didn't, because this dude was holding with Lewis, and honestly, I think Lewis was probably the right choice, right? Like, maybe if he didn't have enough range in his base, maybe that's why he swapped. I don't know. I feel like the rally was still tanking pretty well, and I feel that tanking this type of rally is very just, you need to tank it, right? You want them to struggle to keep it full, so the trades are just pretty good. So guys, I was actually curious and I just checked the stats of Lewis as a hero compared to like Tom and Peterson, and the damage on him as a hero is I think 5.2k, where Tom was like 1.8k and Peterson was I think just 1k. And obviously, the defense stats, the HP stats are way higher. So obviously it covers that in like a different regard. But the point is like just the hero itself is just a monster, right? Just a freaking beast. And I think that just kind of goes to show, depending on, I guess, if you're struggling to hold something, for example, like if I was getting swarmed and I only had like 1.5 million troops, I would probably want actually Peterson and Tom, just for the counter damage, all that. And I I in general want to tank longer. I don't want to melt too fast, especially when I'm at such a low troop count. Also, guys, if you don't see the gift there, that is my comical relief. Just me jumping this dude. We're jumping this guy over here. It's I hope you guys don't mind my tangents though, talking about tiros and all that kind of stuff. You guys are enjoying the reports. I just find it very, I don't know. This is something that just tweaks with my mind, right? I am just super curious when it comes to leading with like a hero like Lewis, right? Compared to Tom, compared to Peterson, or just swapping them back, and how the impacts are. I don't know. I feel like I really look into that stuff probably deeper than I should. And I will also mention real quick that although these people, for example, Nam, let's say that he has 4 million troops. If Nam gets melted down enough, I feel like before his hospital actually fills, his wall would get halfway down, right? So even if he's getting totally swarmed or melted, it's not like he'll actually even burn or make it to where that he's taking too bad of trades, right? I kind of wanted to mention that because like his hospital might fill to 800k before his wall even burns, obviously. So that kind of just goes to show that using Lewis in that situation, right, makes way more sense because it's not like you're forced to kind of tank longer. Whereas like if I only had a million troops and I was non-defending it, right, obviously my thing would probably tank before I even had my hospital fill. So obviously it's not like he has to kind of go for an endurance fight here. Just, I don't know, I kind of wanted to mention that also. Dude, why are people waddling through this AoE, man? They're just giving free kills. They're just feeding. They're just feeding. But yeah, I mean, that's why you actually see a lot of these people shield halfway through their wall down. It's not, I don't think it's that they're scared to take on longer, or I guess they are scared, but it's that they probably don't want to get a bunch of deaths. That's why you see this happen. But yeah, another disgusting report. I was actually surprised the might trade there was even, especially with all these swarms. So, I mean, these swarms were disgusting. You see me actually skip through a lot of the AoE with how I cut through stuff. I'm trying not to make these reports minutes long because it's a freaking drag to go through like 20 marches of just AoE. Like you see it right there, right? I included this part just so you guys could get a gist of what I was talking about, but the AoE is nuts. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm probably just blabbing my butt off about Lewis and heroes that make the rally melt faster, etc., etc. I hope you guys enjoy my commentary, even if I just sound stupid or I'm like coming up with a mad amount of I don't even know, theories or whatever. Okay, guys, so after this one, I think Red Bull might get swarmed again. Like, dude, these guys are just made. These guys are literally made for tanking a swarm, right? Like they just are ready to die. And you see it right here. Red Bull getting swarmed. I feel like Red Bull has a much lower capacity, or maybe it's just me, but I feel like he melts faster. Or she, I think it's actually a she, but I feel like they melt faster because I noticed that their wall got to pretty low, got really low. And I'm not sure if they just got swarmed more than Nom. I feel like their Nom and Red Bull are about the same size, but Red Bull's parts are also worse in comparison to Nom. So that might also be a reason that they kind of can get lower before their hospital fills, just because they tank a lot faster. Because if you guys don't know, Peterson basically heals lightly wounded, right? And heavily wounded are what actually go to your hospital. Lightly wounded are what kind of you lose in the fight, quote unquote, but they come back in after the battle's over. But in the case of Peterson or Tom or Martin, they heal lightly wounded during the battle, right? But if you're able to out heal the damage you're taking, which in, like, for example, Nom's case, he's able to kind of out heal damage to an extent. He's able to, let's say, for example, if he's getting swarmed, he's able to out heal maybe half of that damage that he's taking from the swarm. So he's still tanking a lot faster. But Red Bull, I'm assuming that since his like stats are worse and he also just has less troops, that he's tanking a little bit faster, and that's why his wall kind of just goes down to a further extent. It's not like his gear is bad, but I mean, obviously in comparison to Nam or something who has like even one white part, Red Bull has a bunch of purples and even like a little bit of gold there. So I mean, he's bound to kind of tank a little faster, I guess. And that kind of makes sense that his trades are just slightly worse, or her trades are slightly worse. Though, I mean, still, the trades here are pretty good. And I mean, you see it right there. True squad info, you see that they started swarming around like 1.2 million squads. And that's why it was so easy for them to trade positive. You know, that's what I was talking about earlier. Also, now we were looking at this freaking. I don't know why this happened, okay? SOS sent like a 40 million player to launch a rally. And if it's not already bad enough that they're trading 10 to 1, if not worse, on just troops, this dude is defending with a Lewis who's not even awakened, so he's not able to get those AoE shots around him, and then people are still standing in the AoE, right? So one, they have a 40 million dude rallying a 130 million guy. Two, they swarm. These are all like 40 million players or 30 million or whatever, right? I I didn't expect this swarm. I thought there was no way in this world that these guys were actually gonna commit this swarm. I thought they were just gonna try to hold this rally up. I didn't even think they were gonna rally, guys. And you're gonna see these reports. This was grotesque. I couldn't believe my eyes. All right, guys. So first comes the rally, and this was oh, dude, no shot. And I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, I didn't think they'd actually send this. It was a 40 million player. It was a 40 million rally captain. You got 40 million player tech leading against a 130 mil guy with double the troops in your rally capacity, and then you fed this dude. Oh no, like 2 million kills. I don't know why. I don't know why they swarmed. I'm honestly, genuinely in pain. I'm in pain. This this makes my eyes just burn. My eyes are blood red, guys. I don't know what to say. This is just, I don't know, guys. What the heck? Why did this happen? Why did this happen? Why do people do this, man? I don't know why this is a thing. This hurts. This definitely hurts. Okay, I'm gonna stop crying over here, but yeah, he freaking tanked that rally, got a ton of kills, and I think there are only two more clips now of a rally and a swarm on my Pandy account, which was freaking amazing. But yeah, you see a rally here. I think honestly in this case, although it was maybe like it was thought to kind of melt the rally, right? Obviously, it's much further out. Reinforcing this rally is a lot harder. And honestly, I don't know why it's. Oh yeah, they were using freaking this carry or whatever to kind of reduce the healing, which kind of makes sense and kind of like just I don't know, it makes sense why the healing was so much worse. But still, man, I can't believe this. But the shield does pop early. Who would want to freaking take the swarm already at half health? I think it's only like maybe 2 million troops max left, and the trades gotta be worse just because of that. So, gotta get that early shield out. But the trades in this rally were way worse because the heals obviously weren't as optimal as you would want them to be. Honestly, Peterson and like leading Lewis in this case might have actually been better just because of that rally debuffing it. But now you see these trades, and yeah, they popped in around 2.4 million troops. And I will say, like, there were quite a few of actually reinforced troops there. So a lot might actually be tier 5. But the trades were whatever. I mean, of course, they're dead. So I guess, defending is still better in that situation. And now you guys can enjoy me getting my base beat on. I thank you, Whiskey, okay? If you're watching this, man, I do appreciate you. I was having a really I really wanted this, okay? I really wanted the content as well as this was just I don't know. I really just wanted this, okay? I really wanted this base getting beat on, and you made me happy by doing it. He backed off. I was like, dang man, he's not gonna just fight me till he dies. But he leaves and he comes back with another swarm, and he swarms my base one more time, and then they set a rally on me. And guys, like, you gotta understand, one, I couldn't even heal my hospital. I was just taking these swarms with a half hospital already. And two, I can't take a rally, okay? I have like blue parts on this account. There's just no shot. I'm tanking a rally, and it just doesn't work, right? I'm not gonna be tanking a rally from a whale. I also have a almost full hospital. Dude, I don't have the troops. I don't have the gear to kind of trade like anywhere near positive. It just didn't make sense. But taking these swarms, I was trading pretty well. I was a happy panda today, okay? I was a happy guy. And you'll see these reports, but this is about it to the video. Just a ton of bases. I hope you guys enjoyed. I feel like I was blabbing about my theories and stuff. But yeah, you guys have a good one though. That is about it. And you guys can enjoy the rest of this video. Or just the reports. And yeah, that is it. But you guys have a good day or night, and peace out.